Hey guys, welcome back to my channel for another video. So today's video, I hope you guys don't mind this change of scenery. I'm actually at my computer working right now, but I want to stop by to give you guys this video on how I went from side hustle to full-time in my business in about 9 months. So if you're ready to go full-time in your business, stay tuned for this video. All right, so the first thing I did to go from part-time to full-time in my business, or from side hustle to full-time, is number one, I stopped treating my business like a side hustle. I stopped treating it like part-time. So you know, we all have different circumstances going on in our lives, whether you have families or busy schedules or kids or etc. I think there has to come a point where you really do everything you can to give the time needed to your business to grow it over time. The one thing that there's no trick or hack to putting in the time and consistency and the effort. You just have to do that aspect of it. So in the beginning, I really made an effort. Well, let me be honest with y'all. So the title of this video is how I went full-time in 9 months, but the reality is for the first 5 months of business, I was honestly chilling. It wasn't really until the December mark, right, the 5-month mark, where I said, you know what, I really want to grow this. I'm tired of just being complacent. And so once I said I'm gonna give it my all, it only took me 4 months from then, from December until April, for me to become full-time in my business. Before then, I was kind of just doing it when I wanted to, on the weekend when I had time, you know, after work when I felt like it. But once December hit, I said I'm gonna really give it my all, and that looked like me coming home from work after a long day of teaching, exhausted from being on my feet. I would take a 30-minute power nap, shower, eat dinner, and then get to work. From 6 p.m. to about 1 to 2 a.m. almost every single day, I was putting in the work for my business. Now, you can make your schedule how you want. I'm not saying you have to do what I did, but this is just what I did, right? During that time, some other things that I did to help me reach my financial goals sooner was I started to add on multiple streams of income. So I started with a clothing boutique. I asked myself, how can I serve my audience in multiple ways? At the time, I was already on YouTube, showing up, giving free content. I was going live very consistently, just doing it for the fun of it. I wasn't monetized yet. I wasn't making any money from my audience. I was just showing up and teaching because I had a passion to teach. And so the first thing I did was I provided an ebook to my audience. I was already going live. People would ask me a lot of questions. They would want more assistance, and I couldn't be on live every single day for hours. I just couldn't do that. So I created a guide. It was called the Boutique Business Guide, where I sold it for $50 to anybody on my audience who just wanted more information, who wanted more in-depth help on growing their business. And you know, I would make about 2 sales a day with that guide. I had an audience of maybe like 300 people, and so people would find my videos. They would watch all the free good content that I was already giving, and I would list that link under every video, and people would just, I guess, be up late night because I always made the sales when I was asleep. That shows to really like how God really was also working behind the scenes in my business. That was also my prayer. I would wake up every single day for 3 months. I'll wake up to at least 2 sales from that boutique business guide. So if you do the math, I was making a couple $1,000s a month just from providing that resource. I just kind of added that in. And so now my goal really was to say, okay, how can I continually add on streams of income that can increase my overall revenue in my business? So the next thing that I did was in February, I released my Fearless collection. So it just started out with 2 different t-shirts, black and olive, I believe, because I now wanted to see how can I serve the audience that I'm creating of faith-based entrepreneurs, teachers, moms, fearless people. How can I use my audience that was already on my social media accounts, following me from high school, college, etc.? How can I use that audience and provide something that they're going to find value in? And so in that, I created my Fearless t-shirt. I also wanted to create a product that I could sell a lot of that would cost me very little money, and I was able to mass produce a large quantity of that without also spending too much money. Because you guys may know, if you're not new here, or if you're not new to the industry, when it comes to selling wholesale clothing, child, you gotta sell, like, you know, you have to buy it in a confined pack of 6 or more, and it ends up costing you at minimum like $100 for a pack of 6. So I could create more t-shirts for less money and sell more of them and make more money. So I put out my t-shirt line, and that ended up in February. That brought me so much income in my business, in my clothing business. So I added on that stream of income February. During that 4-month time span, I was increasing my income with my boutique business. I was increasing my income with my coaching side of things, providing ebooks. Also around that time, I created my very first class called the School of Boutique Bosses. That was doing a couple $1,000s every time it launched, so that was doing pretty good. So the next thing was to really become monetized on YouTube. And so at the time, I wasn't monetized yet. At that time, you had to have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours to become monetized. I had hit 1,000 subscribers, I believe, in February, but I wasn't yet at that watch time. So I started to go live. I just started to show up, being consistent. And finally in March, you guys, I was being monetized on YouTube. And when I say monetized, that means I was getting paid for my ads. And in the month of March, I made like $230. It wasn't a lot of money. But then by April, I made $460. And so by the time I quit my job, I already had so many things I was doing. I was promoting my clothing brand. I was on YouTube making money through ads. I was also on YouTube and social media running my coaching business. And you know, I did one thing at a time, but over time it evolved into the next thing. And the basis and the foundation of everything that I did, I created a brand. Natalie Nicole is now a brand that does the Fearless Collection, YouTube, and coaching. And so I have a book and etc. now. But the basis of all of this is I realized what I wanted to do. I built an audience around that item, around that thing, around that topic. And then I started to create things that that audience would value and need and benefit from. And so with that, I created a brand, and I was able to quit my job. Now, let me tell you this. Another thing that helped me to become full-time was to not quit. I believe it was like October of 2018, so just a few months after opening my business, July of that year. It's like, you know what, like, this is not for me. I'm gonna go ahead and let this go. But then Black Friday came. I said, well, let me just do a Black Friday sale. I sold out of almost everything, and I was so surprised. I said, okay, you know what, it's December now. Let me just do everything I can, and then I'll decide if I want to quit or not. And so for 4 months, that's what I was doing. When people say, like, how did you do it? My coworkers at the time were like, what are you doing? It just seemed impossible because I literally was always working. It was to the point where I was teaching 7th grade math, and I would be making up math lessons around my Fearless Collection, around the next restock. I would say things like, okay, class, I'm gonna be releasing my t-shirts this weekend. I'm trying to find the greatest price to put them at. So I would create math equations and have word problems of my students even like working through that side of my business. And through that, I motivated a lot of those students to become entrepreneurs, and they were only in 7th grade at the time. Now they're going into high school. So I just was immersed in it. I became my business. It became a part of me. It was no longer optional. But I will say, like, it was not the easiest thing. I had to have 100% faith. But let me say this before I go into this next part. People often say, like, them leaving their job is taking a leap of faith. Listen, everybody is different, because also staying at a job that you are not liking at that moment, it can also be a leap of faith. So I wanted to quit my job long before I actually did it. But like I said, there's a time and a season for everything. You really want to really seek God, number one, and pray about your circumstance. And although you may really want to leave, it's not time yet. I wanted to leave my first year teaching, not because I hated teaching, but because my heart was for business. I didn't even have a business yet. And I remember I prayed about it, and God showed me in a dream, like, no, I actually need you to be there another year, because you're going to be doing something specific at that school in your 2nd year that I need you there for. And so I had to stay. I had to take a leap of faith and stay that 2nd year and actually continue to teach. And then when it was time for me to quit my job, that was another leap of faith. So don't just take what I'm saying and say that's my confirmation. Really seek God about it first. But when I quit my job, you guys, let me tell y'all, Okay, some people say you have to save up so much money. I think it's wise to save, and I want you all to know that I had no savings when I quit. I had absolutely no savings. Like I said, I took a leap of faith for real. I quit randomly. It was not planned. I planned it out like maybe a week before. I said April 4th is the day. That's just the day. And I quit on that day. And when I quit my job, I wasn't making a lot of money. Please know that in my business, I was not making a lot of money at that time. This was a year ago, April 2019. I quit April 4th, but as soon as I quit, see, I quit because I knew that I had the capacity to make more if I just had more time. So when I quit that month, April, I then made $6,000 that month. So already there was an increase because I had more time. And so I then knew that I have the ability to make more if I do more, if I am seeking God more, if I'm planning more, if I'm being more strategic, you know? So April then made $6,000, and then on to $7,000, $8,000, etc. But like I said, I knew that if I had more time, I could make more. And when I quit my job, I had to put in that more time. So this is how I went full-time in 9 months. You guys know it was 4 months of action, 5 months of being lazy, but those last 4 months helped me to get to where I am today. So wherever you are, you have the ability to do the same thing. It's up to you to make a plan, figure out how much money you need to be able to survive, you know, with just your business, and then create a monetary plan to get there, a marketing plan to get there. It's really important. Seek God. Something that I did is something that I would recommend for all of you, not just plugging myself, but being 1000% honest with you. I wrote a book called Soul Food for the Entrepreneur, and everything in that book, it's a devotional. It's a 30-day devotional. It's 100% Bible-based, faith-based, God-based, okay? But in that devotional, I map out all the things that God took me through during those 4 months to get to where I am today. I took you guys through how I was able to understand money in a new way, how I was able to understand faith in a new way, how I was able to plan in a new way. And so the devotional will take you guys through that. For every single day, there's a prayer, a scripture, there is a passage like a devotional, and then there is a journal prompt, because the journaling aspect is what helped me. Journaling is another thing that I did throughout my entire business, from the day I starting in 3 weeks to you know, going full-time in 9 months. Journaling really helped me do that. So I'm gonna link the book down below. Not sure when you guys are seeing this, they should be in stock. If they're not in stock, you can also find it on Amazon, but you can get it from my store first. So check it out. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in my next one. Okay, bye.